The woman's mother had 3 children. The eldest brother was tricked by the second aunt and went missing during a lantern festival when he was young. The woman's twin brother was also taken away and killed by the second aunt shortly after birth. Before she died in her previous life, the woman was told that her eldest brother was still alive and had been adopted by a wealthy family in the city. In this life, in order to search for her brother, the woman decided to attend the upcoming spring banquet. The news of the woman refusing to marry the prince spread throughout the capital. The prince, who had just recovered from a serious injury, was planning to use the banquet to choose a new princess. The eldest sister, who had once despised the prince when he was in a coma, had pressured the woman to fulfill her marriage vows on her behalf. Now that the prince had woken up, the eldest sister was eager to regain that marriage contract. In order to attract the prince's attention, the eldest sister planned to perform well at the banquet. However, her carefully prepared performance was replaced by someone else's, a talent she had no skill in. After thinking for a moment, the eldest sister pretended to sprain her ankle and pushed the woman out to perform in her place. The performance was to be a sword dance. The woman remembered that the prince had personally taught her to dance with swords in her previous life. Now that she had been reborn, she only hoped to never have anything to do with this man again. As she mimicked the movements from her memory, her swordplay and movements were indistinguishable from those of the prince, which caught everyone's attention. The prince sitting in the audience was puzzled. He had never taught anyone swordsmanship, so why did the woman's movements resemble his own so much? After the performance, the woman went to the garden to get some air, only to be flirted with by a man. At that moment, the prince, disguised in a mask and searching for clues, appeared and rescued her. In order to ease the woman's wariness, he showed her a jade pendant he was holding. The woman recognized the man who had saved her as the masked man she had once been engaged to. The jade pendant had been given to her as a child by a little boy who had helped her during a kidnapping. It turned out that they were the same person. Their fate had begun long ago, and the seeds of love began to sprout in the woman's heart. At the banquet, the woman was pushed into the water by a scheming woman. In a moment of quick thinking, the woman pulled the scheming woman into the water with her before swimming to safety. The scheming woman was rescued by a lecherous man, but unexpectedly, her attempt to frame the woman backfired, and she ended up getting herself involved. After the incident, the woman fell seriously ill. Despite taking her medicine on time, her condition didn't improve. One night, the masked man appeared again and told the woman that her medicine had been replaced by her eldest sister. If she kept taking it, her condition would only worsen. He then handed her the medicine he had prepared. Realizing what had happened, the woman quickly returned the jade pendant to the masked man. She still remembered their vow and hoped that he would come to marry her. After this, the woman's connection with the masked man grew stronger. One day, the woman was passing by her shop when she saw a young man being chased out by her servant. The servant, with his narrow view, had rejected the young man because he was from the countryside. The woman scolded the servant and brought the young man into the shop. As he raised his hand to thank her, the woman noticed a scar the size of a coin on his wrist. Her missing eldest brother also had a scar just like that. The woman decided to invite the young man to a secluded place to ask about his background. But before she could speak, the prince suddenly interrupted them. Recalling their past, the woman didn't want to have anything to do with the man anymore and was about to leave. Just then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw the prince wearing the same jade pendant that she had given to the masked man. That night, the masked man came to find the woman again. She began to suspect that he might be the prince, so she started to test him. However, the masked man remained silent on the matter. He thought to himself that now was not the right time to reveal his identity. Just then, the woman's eldest sister barged in, and the masked man quickly hid. It turned out that the eldest sister's mother had come to plead with the woman after she was stripped of her position as the household manager. After the woman firmly rejected her, the eldest sister began to harbor murderous intentions. The woman went out of the city to pray for her family. On the way, her horse suddenly went wild, but luckily the prince appeared just in time to save her. The figure of the prince began to overlap with that of the masked man in her mind. Although the woman suspected the truth, she was unwilling to accept it. In her previous life, the prince had hurt her and betrayed her many times, but in this life, she had still fallen in love with him.